In this segment, we'll discuss 4 ideas for improving the effectiveness of our government. That will include redistricting, truthfulness ratings, taking the profit out of buying politicians, and having a more rational method of appointing Supreme Court justices. Before the 2020 census occurs, we need to be ready with a plan that will eliminate gerrymandering and provide a reason for politicians to compromise. California created a plan for redistricting to create a model, and it's similar to jury selection, where a pool of candidates is created that both of the and then people are drawn from that pool. Each side gets to reject a certain number of folk, and then once they reach a majority of the commission, about a quarter or more of the candidates are chosen at random from the remaining pool. So everybody that volunteers to do it, who's a voter, has a chance of being on the jury selection commission. The biggest casualty in the last election was truthfulness. I propose that we use the movie rating system to, as a model, to create truthfulness ratings, similar to the movie rating system by an independent nonprofit group. So displayed ratings would be required on media reports to inform the public if the content was truthful. The next idea is to take the profit out of buying politicians. And the reason the companies spend money on political campaigns is they want something for it. And one of the ways that they can be rewarded for their efforts is to get a tax break. So giving tax breaks is an idea that has backfired. It's one of those good ideas, but it hasn't worked because it's resulted in corporations buying politicians. So I propose that we just get the government out of that business, almost all of it, so that there isn't a reason for corporations to buy politicians. Now, corporation tax structures need to be balanced. We have the highest corporate tax rate in the developed world, at about 39%. Other G8 countries are about 30%. So I suggest first we start by lowering that top tax rate. But we also eliminate all of the tax breaks that corporations are given. That will make a level playing field for corporations to compete against each other and other countries. If they had a lower tax rate in the U.S., corporations would be able to bring their profits back home and then pay taxes on them. Right now, there's a lot of money sitting overseas that the corporations are not bringing home and not paying taxes on. There'd be some exceptions, of course, like equipment depreciation and deferred taxes instead of tax breaks on things like retirement accounts. Finally, our recent experience with Supreme Court nomination has shown that the system is deeply flawed. So we need to reconsider how to do this. We want the best qualified, not the youngest, because there's an incentive now to appoint young justices because for the lifetime appointment they would serve longer the younger they are. This is not necessarily our best qualified. And we also need a full court so that the appointments are made rapidly and that there's an odd number of justices so things can be decided. So a plan that I heard from someone else was that we should have terms that the justices should be appointed for 18 years. Since there are 9 of them, there would be a rotation so that there'd be a new appointment every 2 years. So that during a 4-year presidential term, each president would get to make 2 appointments. Now, to prevent the problem that we had recently, the president would offer 3 candidates in ranked order to the Senate for consideration. The Senate must pick one of those 3, and if they don't, the top-ranked candidate gets the job in 4 months. So that gives the Senate the opportunity for advice and consent, but it doesn't allow them to stop the process for years until perhaps a change in party occurs. There are several other ideas on my playlist on YouTube, or you can go to pctraining.net/vision.htm to see a menu that with direct links to those presentations.